Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, everyone, depending where in the world you're calling in from today. Welcome to the Amity public training session. Today we're going to be covering the Amity tasks and the Amity playbooks. And at the end, I'll give you a surprise preview of something exciting that's coming up at Amity. Okay, so first, I'd like to encourage you to ask questions. This is for you after all, so I would much rather answer your specific questions. So in your Zoom widget, you'll see a Q&A tab. If you open that, you can ask me a question, and I'll see it, and then I can answer your questions along the way. So anytime that you have a question, just let me know. Okay, great. Okay, so today we're going to go over everything to do with Amity tasks. And so the first thing we're going to look at, just for some context, is the Amity Task Manager. I'm sure you're all familiar with that. And so here you can see all of the tasks that that you're working on or that you have completed recently. So the first thing to notice is that in our demo system, we're using 5 stages or 5 swim lanes for our task manager, but that is completely configurable. And if that's not what you want to do, if you just want 2 or 3, then you can do that. And so I'm going to take away the focus stage, save that, and then go back to the task manager. And now I just have 4 stages in my task manager, and you can set this up any way you like. You have to have some sort of unstarted column and completed column, but you don't have to have anything else in between. Or if you're doing more sophisticated project management, you can set this up, these swim lanes up anywhere that any way that you want to use them. Okay, so just a quick tour through the task manager. So there are the swim lanes. So not started, all my unstarted tasks, in progress, the ones I'm working on, waiting for. These we use this stage to when we're waiting for some information from some of our customers, and completed when a task is done. And it's very simple just to move tasks from stage to stage. And if you want to complete that, then we'll just put it over here in the completed column. And then we automatically archive tasks that are in the completed column, so that they don't, that they don't clog up and gather and clog up here. And by default, we archive the tasks every 30 days. But again, that's a configurable setting in your Amity. Okay. No questions, so I'll just keep going. Okay, so that's the high level of the task manager. Now, some of you are going to have a lot of tasks, and that card view takes up a lot of space on the screen. It's attractive and simple to use, but it takes up a lot of space on the screen. So if you just want to look at a list, a checklist view, you can look at it. You can do that here. And so here you can see your upcoming tasks. Here you can see deferred tasks. And so this is another great way of taking a look at your tasks if you have a lot of them. And then if they're done, and you can see that this is just a simple checklist manager. And if you go back to the cards, all of those tasks will be completed. So it really depends on the number of tasks and your personal working style, which one you're going to find the most useful. And then here you can, if you just want to look for a particular account, you can come up here and just search for an account. And who do we have in? I'll just start for account starting with C, and you can see all of the tasks for that account. Okay. We'll go back to the board view, and then I'll just look at my tasks. And so here you can focus just on your tasks, and so not started, in progress. And so you can just focus in on your work to do. And you notice that the previous tasks had two colors to them. If the task is the background of the task card is yellow, that means it's due today. And if the background of the task card is pink, that means it's overdue. Okay. And then along here, you can see that you have views, and so you can create a view that shows you the tasks that are due in the next 7 days, ones that are due today, anybody in onboarding. So you can sort these views any way that you like, and you can just open up the view editor to change or create your own views. Okay, so so that's the task manager, and hold on one second. So let's take a look at an individual task. So we'll come here and add a task. And so a task has a number of different elements. So obviously it has a name, so prepare for training webinar. And that task would have been due today, and would have been assigned to David Bowie. And then you can assign that to an account. So I'll assign it to the Altria group. Okay. And then you can give it a type. We have too many types in our demo system, but you can have a handful of types. In our own Amity system, we have tasks for integrations. We have tasks for things that we've promised to deliver to you. We have tasks for health scores and insights. Okay. And then it always starts in not started. You can start a task in progress or later if you want. You can give a tag to a task, so you can say that it's late or that it's a VIP customer, You can bring in a collaborator. So here Carlos is going to have access to this task and be able to see it. So we'll just create that task, and then here you can see it's due today. So it's yellow and it shows up in progress. Okay. So there's a couple questions. Can you change the color of the background? The background is fixed. It's white, yellow, or pink. You can have colored tags if you want to indicate other information about a task. Is type primarily used? No, we use it operationally too. You know, like I mentioned, we have integration type tasks, and when we sit down and do a review of an account, one of the first things we do is take a look at the integration task and make sure that all of the integrations are on track, because data is the foundation in Amity, and so we focus on those. So we absolutely use them in filtering and reporting, but we do use them operationally as well. Okay. Okay, and just one last thing to point out is you'll notice that there's a big description section in here. So you can use this for a description, but this is a full HTML editor, and I'll talk a little bit later about how you can use that to help you semi-automate your automatic emails if you want to high-touch automatic emails. Okay, and then there's actually 3 different places in the Amity product where you can look at your tasks, and we have an equal number of customers that use all 3. So I just opened up the account profile for Rackspace, and inside the account profile you'll see that there are tasks, and then you can you can look for different types of tasks here, and so this is a way of looking at all of your tasks in the account profile. So if you're just focusing on working on Rackspace today, pretty common way of managing that is to come into the account profile and click off all of the tasks. Okay, and then the third place you can work on tasks is in Playbooks, and we'll get to that in just a second. So you can see that I just jumped to the Playbook app in Amity, and Playbooks and tasks are pretty closely connected in that a common way for tasks to get created inside of Amity, at least automatically, is by a playbook, and we'll walk through all the details of that. But this is the Amity Playbook Manager, and again, this is a card layout, and where each of the stages here are the stages in your playbook. So this is an onboarding stage and an onboarding playbook, and in this case, onboarding has 5 stages: welcome, solution design, setup, training, launch. And you can see the customers that are in the various sections of stages in the playbook. So Group Automotive is in solution design, and this green circle here means they're on track, and they have 4 days left in this stage, whereas Quintiles Transnational is late. They're late by 1 day at this stage. Okay. And then you'll notice at the bottom that there's 0 out of 1 task completed. And so we can go here And so I clicked on the profile for this play. We call an account in a playbook. We call that a play. So I just opened up this play, and you can get a quick overview of the status of the playbook, of the play here. So you can see that Quintiles has 16 days left to get to the deadline in this playbook, and they're obviously overdue here. And then you can see all of the tasks that get generated automatically for you in this playbook. And again, it's a checklist, and you can just mark them off, and just like a checklist. Okay, so and then I said close that play successfully. So that play is now completed and marked successful. And you can see a history of all of your successful companies in your successful playbooks. So you can see where people were determined to be successful, or where people failed, where companies or accounts failed. Okay, so that's a little bit about the playbooks. Again, we have if you have a lot of plays in your playbooks, we have the same table view as that you have in tasks here, so you can see a lot more plays in the table view. Of course, that doesn't work very well with the small number of plays we have in the demo today. And then you can view everybody's if you have that permission, or just yours. And you can change the sort order on the ones that you look at. And then if Johnson & Johnson doesn't complete the onboarding, so if they churn somewhere during the onboarding, you can mark them as failed, and they'll come out of the playbook, and then they'll show up as in the failed view, and you can see that they failed at stage 3, and you can start tracking where your customers are failing in your various playbooks. Okay, I have a question. Where can I define the stages of the playbook? Oh, okay, yeah, good question. That's coming up in just a second. Okay, so that's the table view and sorting, and success and failure. So the next topic is to talk about how you can create a playbook, and so you can get to the playbook editor by clicking on here, and that takes you to our settings app, the playbook section of the settings app. And so now we're configuring playbooks. We're not using them. We're actually creating them or configuring them. And so here we have the onboarding playbook, and I'm going to open that up. And so you can see, again, playbooks have a name. You can give it a description. Here's where you give it the deadline. So this is going to be done. The deadline here is 30 days. And this is where you can connect this playbook to your life cycle. So you can say anybody in this playbook is considered to be in the implementation stage of your life cycle. And then you can say that when a customer completes this playbook successfully, automatically put them into the next playbook. So in that case, it would be adoption, and or create a new play for the account in this playbook. Sorry. So you this puts it into the next playbook, and this changes its life cycle stage. So when it's done, you can change the life cycle stage, and you can move it to a new playbook. Okay. And so here are the 5 stages: welcome, solution design, launch, and training. and you can move them around if you like, and then you can also create a new stage. So new stage, we're going to call this new stage. And it's going to have a 23-day deadline, and I'm going to save that. And then you're going to see that I have the new stage here. And so that's how you can add, and this is how you can remove. So you can see here that new stage is enabled, and I'm going to come here and disable it, and now that won't show up in our playbooks. Where do you pull reports for failure or success? That would be in the Reports app. And if you don't have that report set up in the Reports app, just talk to your customer success manager, and they'll set it up for you. Okay, so we've created a stage and then disabled it. But now I'm going to go inside the stage, and inside the stage, you can define the tasks that need to be worked on at this particular stage in the playbook. And so I'm going to create a send welcome email. So that's a task that will get automatically created. And we can say that that's a check-in call, and it's due within a day. Okay. So we've created that task template. Now that will get automatically generated whenever an account goes into the new stage of the playbook. And I mentioned earlier about the description section. So one thing a lot of our customers do is they actually put an email template inside the description if they want a standardized way of sending a welcome email or any other email, but you don't want to do it automatically. Sometimes you want to add a personal touch. And so the person can, the CSM can grab the email template and use it right here. And in an upcoming release of Amity, you'll be able to automatically load the email template in here, and the CSM will be able to send directly from this task template. Okay, so that's the playbook editor. Getting a question coming in. How do you add a company to a playbook? Okay, great, perfect. So I'll go up to the to accounts. There's a lot of ways you can do it automatically in the rules engine, but you can also come into the account profile and sorry, I was wrong. That's how you do it. Add play. So you add a play to this playbook. So we're in onboarding, and I'm going to pick a Borg Warner, and I'm going to put them in onboarding, stage 1, and I'm going to assign it to Josh, and I'm going to say this is a VIP. And there we have the information about the play, and then you can come in here and see in progress, and there's Borg Warner in this task, in this playbook, and all of the tasks that need to be completed there. Do I need to add? No, you can add it just to the first stage, and then you can set up the playbook so that it's manual, that you can move it across here, or your customer success manager can set it up so that when all of the tasks are completed, it automatically moves to the next task, to the next stage in the playbook. Okay. Great. So that's a quick overview, walkthrough of tasks and playbooks, and I promised you an exciting preview of what's coming at Amity. And so I'm just pulling up a preview of our brand new UI. So this is a comprehensive redesign of the Amity look and feel. We've heard your feedback about the current UI, so we've done a lot of work to spruce it up and make it easier for you to use. And so this is the new UI, and so this is the Account Explorer. And now, if you don't want to see the menus in this view, or you don't want to see the dashboard in this view, you can get all your screen space back very quickly. And all of the app menu is here. So if you want to switch to the playbooks, you can just do that. And then all of your filters are here now. And if you want to edit it, you can just select it from here. And so we've made a ton of those types of improvements in the UI, and this is still in development, but we will be rolling it out later in the month of October, and we'll be rolling it out a few customers at a time, so that we can collect some feedback and take your suggestions and make those suggestions while we roll it out to everybody. So it'll probably take us 30 to 45 days to roll it out to everybody, a few customers at a time. Okay, so that's the new UI. I just want to see if there's any last questions, and there aren't. So I just want to thank everyone for coming today. And if you have any questions, at the end of the webinar, if you have a question that, I wish I'd asked that, just drop me an email at paul@getamity.com, and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Thanks again, and look forward to working together, and look forward to your feedback on the new UI as it rolls out. Thanks, everybody.